I'm going to try and keep this really short, and I'm just sharing this message for those of you who are on the awakening path, because we are many more than ever before. And as there are many more than there were before, you will have found, or you will be finding, that your journey is getting more and more difficult, or you may be finding that your world is starting to crumble away, or ideas are falling away. You might start to notice the amount of fear that you carry, or the programming that you carry. You might start finding out that all the things people have been saying to you for a long time, you might become aware that you've been programmed and that you've been doing all the things that other people are saying will happen, and those things are starting to happen, but you've been trying to push them away. Or you may be in a very much smaller percentage of people whose awareness is shifting to such a degree that it becomes harder and harder and harder for you to connect with other people. And I know that a lot of the people that follow me are going to be those people. We have in the past been called black sheep. We are, in fact, the starseeds, the courageous warriors. We are the ones that were chosen to come here to support planet Earth as we go through this evolutionary shift in consciousness. Yeah? We are the ones. We are the rebels. We are the ones who don't fit into the box. We are the ones who don't follow the rules, because we know at a higher level that all of it is bullshit, and we can see through the lens of how the world is appeared to be and how the world actually is. Because what appears always is a reflection of what is within. If you're struggling to follow what I'm saying, then maybe the conversation is not for us to have. But if you are following and resonating with the conversation, then you will be aware that you have become more you than you've ever been in your life. And if you can be that part of you that has been through a life that has been incredibly challenging, and you will know who you are. If your life has been incredibly challenging, as teachers, many of us got caught on or into buzzwords in the spiritual community. So we say things in the spiritual community that are like, you know, that's what everyone's saying. But what happens along your journey is that you start to know a truth because you have lived it. You have survived it. You have walked the walk, and you had to walk that walk through the darkness. And actually, as I was saying that, I felt a sensation in my womb. I felt it in my body. And that's why the embodiment, everyone is talking. I've been on a Pilates Congress today. I'm on all weekend. And it has really brought the life back into me, because what was shared in that conference, for me, just woke my heart up even more. It's like the attracting in. The more we raise our light, the more we connect to who we really are, the more we attract, because we are in alignment with who we are. Now, you can't know that until you have not known that. It's always the polarity. We live in a dualistic world. Where we're heading is non-duality, is oneness, not two-ness, not separation, not ego. And that's why the work is so important, doing that work, the spiritual work, in terms of, you know, looking at the parts of you that are still in the darkness, looking at those different parts of you, but then actually realizing that the words and the way we've been taught till now have applied then at that time in our evolution. And now, because we are so rapidly expanding, and a lot of people are not going to know what I'm talking about, and that's okay. But if you are listening to this, if anyone comes to listen to this, and if anyone can really connect with what I'm saying, you will have your mind blown open. Because when you come to that level of presence, you are expansive beyond measure. You are expansive beyond measure. And that really threw me today in the Pilates Congress that I was at, that they were talking now in a way that I've been talking for a very long time. And I kind of walked away from all communities. I walked away from the yoga community. I walked away from the Pilates community, because I felt that these communities were not always reflecting my values. I wanted to be able to take some of those and some of those and some of those, and then decide for myself what really worked for me, what really and truly worked for me. If anyone is actually listening to this, will you just let me know? Give me a heart or something, because I might just be saying this to myself, and yet it is so needed to be heard. And I know that anyone who's listening this far will be needing to have this information right now, because we start to find very quickly what we need to hear. And when we start to follow those breadcrumbs to greater awareness, when we start to find that our life is in a flow, and then we might find something major happens to literally the tower crumbles. We literally crumble to our knees. And then we come back and we build and we build and we build back. We are returning as new versions of ourselves every time. Not everyone can do that, but generally, oh, thank you. Generally, if you're on the spiritual path, wherever you are on your journey, you know, the harder you fall, the higher you can bounce back. It's law. It's law. That's why Pilates, for me, that's why I started calling it Shaktilates. I was calling it Shaktilates because Pilates was too fucking masculine. There was no flow. It was all too rigid and about the muscle. And what I got from the conference that I've been on today and tomorrow is like what they're saying, Pilates has been too focused on muscle. And yet when you work with an embodied sense of who you are and your fascial system and this playfulness, this dance, you know, and it was everything that I've been teaching personally for years. And here is the new Pilates, which is not the modern Pilates or the classical Pilates, but it's like, this is where we have evolved to. And so if you are evolving, which we all are evolving, we are all evolving faster than ever. So where am I going with this? If you have been going through any struggles, just say thank you. If you shift your vibration, you will shift your life. Because really, you're only manifesting from now, from how you feel now, in this moment now. If you are contracted in this moment now, you are attracting more of that. And the only way you know if it works is if you try it and practice it. Having a tool bag, having a toolkit of tools throughout these times is essential. And we, those of us who know what I'm talking about, or any level of what I've spoken about, it really is the time now to really start embracing more of who you really are. Because you've been lying to yourself for a very long time. And one of the things I spoke about earlier this week, was about self-compassion. I think I might have shared it somewhere. Self-compassion. It was the last live I think I did. That's a massive, massive one to learn, self-compassion. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there. I've had the most amazing conversation with a very, very, well, the person in the whole world that I've had the most incredible soul connection with. And we've just had a very long, deep conversation this evening. And I just wanted to offload some of that almost as a reminder for myself. Because when we're very present, sometimes it's difficult to remember what happened because you're just in the now moment. So it's quite nice to record stuff and remember stuff. And I thought I would share that with anybody who didn't have somebody really deep to talk to tonight. And maybe you can resonate or vibrationally pick up on this frequency. Who you choose to hang around with will have an impact. And that's why many people like us spend a lot of time alone, purely because we are requiring to have the space to do the work, to grow, to become more of who we really are. We do need to have time alone. And what I've found is the ease and the presence with doing tasks that in the past I would have found a bit boring. Like, for example, going around to my son's house and let's say I've done some ironing for him, being a mum of, 2 men. But if I've done some ironing for him, in the past it would have been a chore to get out the car, to go and knock on the door. It's in the evening. But I've been so present and I've been practicing this more and more that just the very action of turning the key, opening the car door, getting out, walking to his flat, knocking on the door, there has been spaciousness and presence with all of that, so that my whole system is more relaxed. My sleep is deeper. And as we become more relaxed and as we align to that which we already are, but we've created this belief, this program around who we think we are. And if we don't start to notice the voices in our head that are having a go at us constantly, you will believe that that is who you are. And it's not. It's not who you are. Anyway, talk about this for ages. I'm going to go. Night, night. Yeah, sorry to go on and on about that, but it just blew my mind tonight. The level of, well, actually how much we are all awakening. We are all, I hope we are all noticing that we're becoming more aware of who we are. Give me some feedback in the comments. I'd love you guys to join in and talk to me on this. And then I would speak on it more often. Or if you don't know what I'm talking about, please say so. Yeah. Night night.